Have you been wondering whether living in Magnolia, Texas is actually right for your daily life or just an appealing theory? Because Magnolia sounds simple. Trees, land, space, quiet morning, a slower pace. But there's another side people don't always talk about. Traffic on 1488 and 249, rapid growth, infrastructure still catching up, a town that's very much in transition, and the real question isn't whether Magnolia is good, it's whether it fits the way you actually live, not just the picture you have in your head. In this video, we're gonna walk you through the real pros and cons of living in Magnolia, Texas, from daily routine to long-term growth, so you can evaluate it through a 5 to 10 year lens. By the end, you will know whether moving to Magnolia, Texas aligns with your goals, your budget, and the rhythm of life you actually want. I'm Cristóbal with Agape Real Estate Group. My family and I live right here in North Houston. I'm both a real estate investor and a licensed agent, so I looked at properties very differently. On this channel, I keep it real about life, faith, and real estate so you can make confidence-informed decisions. If that's what you're looking for, subscribe. Today, we're gonna talk honestly about the pros and cons of living in Magnolia, Texas, because before you make a major move, you deserve clarity, not just marketing. Let me start with what genuinely makes Magnolia different. This is in the Woodlands. It's quieter, slower, more open. When you wake up here, you noticed it. The trees, the distance between homes, the sky that doesn't feel blocked in. The Magnolia, Texas lifestyle is built in around space. Real land, acreage in some areas, yards being big enough for kids to run, for dogs to roam, for projects that fit inside a tight subdivision. And for many people, that space changes how life feels. It's less rush, less crowded, less constant. There's also a real sense of community. Local restaurants where people recognize each other, weekend markets, school events, seasonal festivities. You run into familiar faces more often than you expect. It carries a small town atmosphere, even though you're still connected to the greater Houston area, and that balance is what draws people in. Magnolia isn't about density or nightlife. It's about calm, room to breathe, and a pace that feels intentional. For the right person, that matters more than anything else. Let's look at the current numbers. Right now, the median home price in Magnolia sits around $472,000, with an average price per square feet near $200. Year over year, appreciation is about 2.1%. Homes are selling in roughly 34 days, a healthy, balanced pace. This isn't a frenzy market, it's stable. What separates Magnolia from places like the Woodlands? It's land. You get more of it. Larger lots, acres still available, custom-built opportunities that are harder to find in more established master plan areas. New communities like Woodhaven by Toll Brothers are opening with pricing starting in the low 500,000s. Established neighborhoods such as Audubon, Magnolia Ridge, Mill Creek, and Timber Hollow offer mature properties. Emerging developments like Woodtrace, North Grove, and Escondido represent ongoing expansion. The sold-to-list ratio is about 98.6%. Priced correctly, homes move. Price high, they sit. That's what a balanced market looks like. One of the real things to know before moving to Magnolia, Texas is traffic. Highway 249, Farm Road 1488, and Farm Road 2978 carry most of the flow, and they are congested, especially during peak hours. Ongoing construction and continued growth add pressure to those corridors. Magnolia has become a pass-through area, which means commute times are longer than they used to be. If you work in the Woodlands, Houston, or along those main routes, you need to factor that into your daily routine. It's manageable, but it's real, and you should plan for it before you commit. Now, here's the important part. Magnolia is not ignoring the pressure. A $120 million bond has been approved for infrastructure improvements, including road expansions and connectivity upgrades. These aren't conceptual ideas. Funding has been allocated. Part of that includes the expansion of Woodtrace Boulevard, connecting at Farm Road 2978 directly to 249, the Aggie Freeway. That connection is expected to improve traffic flow in that corridor. There's also a school transportation bond included, signaling long-term planning tied to population growth. Here's the honest takeaway. Traffic is strained today because growth moves faster than infrastructure, but infrastructure response is underway. The timeline matters, and so does patience. Now, here's what long-term buyers should be watching. A planned Magnolia Town Center development valued at roughly $1 billion includes retail, dining, medical offices, a hotel, community spaces, and multifamily units. Construction is expected to begin this year in 2026, with phase completion targeted for around 2027. If delivered as proposed, it would expand local amenities and reduce reliance on neighborhood areas for daily services. There's also a lagoon-style development underway north of Farm Road 1488, featuring recreational water amenities and planned community space. Phase 1 is projected for completion in 2026. And multiple master plan communities continue coming online, adding homes, road, and structure infrastructure as part of Magnolia growth cycle. Here's the reality. Magnolia is in transition, no question about it. It's not fully rural anymore. It's not fully built out either. It's evolving. And if you're thinking 5 to 10 years ahead, that transition matters. When people evaluate Magnolia, Texas real estate, schools, and long-term community stability often become part of the conversation. Magnolia is primarily served by Magnolia Independent School District, which operates multiple campuses across the area, including Magnolia High School, Magnolia West High School, junior highs, intermediate schools, and elementary campuses. There are also private education options available. School zoning varies by neighborhood, and assignments can change over time. For that reason, it's important to verify zoning directly with the district rather than relying on general assumptions or third-party ratings. The bigger picture is this. Choosing a home based on broad rankings alone rarely tells the full story. What matters is understanding how a specific neighborhood aligns with your daily logistics, commute, and long-term plans. That's where local knowledge becomes helpful, not to steer decisions, but to ensure you have accurate information before you commit. Let me be clear about what Magnolia is not. You will find fewer dining and retail options compared to more established areas. Nightlife and walkable entertainment are limited. Most errands require driving. You're not stepping outside to coffee shops or restaurants. That's the trade-off. To choose Magnolia for space and quiet, you go elsewhere for convenience. If you are seriously considering living in Magnolia, Texas, or weighing against the Woodlands, Tomball, or other North Houston areas, the right decision depends on your routine, your commute, and what you value day to day. If you want to walk through that strategy without pressure, my contact information is in the description. Let's look at whether Magnolia fits your specific situation. Magnolia tends to work well for buyers who prioritize space, privacy, and a quieter pace of life. It appeals to people thinking long term, those comfortable with driving for daily errands and who value land, lower density, and more open environments over walkability or nightlife. And it may not be the right fit for someone looking for an urban, highly walkable setting with immediate access to dining and entertainment. And if traffic tolerance is low, that's something to consider carefully. Magnolia also isn't typically a short-term, quick-turn investment market. It's better suited for those thinking several years ahead rather than immediate appreciation. Clarity protects credibility. It's better to understand fit before you move, not after. There's a real contrast within Magnolia. The more established, traditional areas reflect the original character of the town. Larger lots in some pockets, fewer formal amenities, and more rural Texas feel. Newer areas, particularly around Woodlands and other emerging developments, reflect Magnolia's growth phase. Modern construction, structured community layouts, and integrated infrastructure. Both are valid. It depends on what environment aligns with how you want to live. Some buyers also consider proximity to regional airport access or major corridors as part of their decision making. That's a niche to factor, but for the right buyer, it matters. From a broader perspective, Magnolia is in a development cycle where infrastructure is still being built out, roads, utilities, and amenities are expanding alongside residential growth. That creates opportunity, but also transition. Understanding that phase helps you decide whether entering during this period aligns with your timeline and expectations. Living in Magnolia, Texas means choosing a particular pace of life. It means accepting that growth is happening and that infrastructure improvements take time. It means valuing space, privacy, and lower density, even if convenience is not always immediate. Magnolia is in transition. Land remains available in ways that are harder to find in more established areas. Development is ongoing. Infrastructure funding has been approved and is moving forward, but it also requires patience. If you are thinking 5 to 10 years ahead and you are comfortable with where Magnolia is today and where it appears to be heading, it may deserve serious consideration. The key is alignment, not excitement, not fear. Again, alignment. If you're planning to move to North Houston, whether that's Magnolia, the Woodlands, Conroe, Tomball, or Spring, or you're simply weighing your options, I'm here to help you think it through clarity. My contact information is below, and you can schedule a call anytime. At Agape Real Estate Group, we serve with trust, professionalism, and integrity, so you can make confident decisions with peace of mind. Magnolia is not a universal fit, and that is exactly the point. The right location is not about trends, it's about alignment with how you actually want to live. Thank you for watching. Nos vemos en el próximo video. Until then, make your next move a thoughtful one.